When I think about my favorite arcs of One Piece, of course Whole Cake Island comes up first, and then Marineford. But at the third spot is an arc that I genuinely loved throughout its entire time, and that was Water 7. I mean, this is the arc that gave birth to my second favorite fight in the show, Luffy vs Usopp. But there was something else in this arc. Before it, my favorite character was Zoro. Like, no lie, I thought he was the best Straw Hat by far. But then this arc gave highlight to another person. Someone who ended up being my favorite character from one specific moment and continued on to retain his status. Well, in today's video, let's talk about this moment in particular. What's up guys, Restless Gambly here, and in today's video, I want to go over one of the best Sanji moments pre-time skip. Sanji's raid on the sea train to Enies lobby. This moment gave a strong dialogue and a peek at Sanji's mind, as well as an exploration of the dynamic between him and the other members of the monster trio. But with all that said, like always, make sure to like, subscribe, and watch it till the end. We'll start at chapter 358, where we cut away from Frankie's flashback about Iceberg and Tom. What we end up seeing is Frankie beaten up and tied up by Khalifa. Lucci wanks Tom, but then goes on to say something very substantial. At the time, here in Water 7, over 100 Navy troops and other officials were seriously injured, and you were the culprit. Committing such an act against the world government is a substantial crime, but you were confirmed dead in a sea train accident the same day, so that crime was never answered for. I think we'll take you to Enies lobby now as a criminal. The reason this was so important is the fact that this lines Frankie up into the Enies lobby conflict, having him be an additional criminal needing execution. We get introduced to Spandam in the current story, but that doesn't really matter here. What matters is the order to send Frankie to Enies lobby. Usopp squares up and then submits from one look. At the same time as this, Chopper has carried Iceberg and Polly out of the building where CP9 revealed themselves, and he faints. Next chapter, we're back to Usopp and Frankie, but what we see is Usopp getting one-shot by Kaku. Apparently, Usopp told Kaku that he split from the Straw Hats, but he's still a pirate, so Kaku decided that they'll take Usopp with them too. He gets Khalifa to subdue him, and at the same time, Kaku goes towards the Going Merry. He reassures Usopp that, sadly, the Merry is finished, but this time he takes it a step further, literally plunging the ship to be crushed and washed away by the seas of Water 7. We make another cut back to Chopper's group. Chopper himself is still knocked out, but Iceberg and Nami have both regained consciousness. Iceberg tells the civilians to fuck off and let him talk to Nami alone. Firstly, he apologizes to Nami, as before all this stuff about CP9 arose, the Straw Hats were framed as the villains of Water 7. But immediately after, he moves on from that and tells Nami he mainly wants to talk about Robin. Nami expresses that Robin indeed had been acting weirdly once they entered this island. She went missing, became a criminal attempting murder, and once she was found by some of the Straw Hats, she said she wouldn't return to them. Her reason, as they recently found out, was that if she stayed with the Straw Hats, her wish wouldn't come true. Nami obviously doesn't know what that wish is, but Iceberg does. Not gonna lie, I ain't reading all that, but the main things we want to get from this is 1. Robin's want for the true history of the world is something she would destroy the world to achieve. And 2, the wish she wanted to come true was that the 6 Straw Hats, Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Sanji, Chopper, and... oh yeah, the Merry. Those 6 Straw Hats are able to sail away safely. That was her wish. And staying with them wouldn't allow the wish to come true, because had she not fulfilled her conditions of obeying CP9's orders, the Straw Hats and the entire island would be target of a buster call. Heavy stuff, and especially for Nami, because upon hearing this, she falls over in relief. So she runs to Chopper to wake him up, but while he's getting punched, he's having a flashback. You go meet up with Luffy and the others, and tell them everything about what just happened. Hey, wait, what about you? I'll knock around on my own for a while. Don't worry, I won't do anything rash. Chopper makes a gloomy face and Sanji asks what's the matter. Chopper wonders if Robin truly hates them. To this, Sanji replies with a really overhated quote. Chopper, you'd better remember one thing. Real men can forgive the lies women tell. We cut away to the Water 7 Blue Station where the last train for Enies lobby is getting ready to depart. Robin looks on with silent despair. But near her is a figure in the shadows, flicking a lighter. Bingo. Robin gets told to board the sea train first, and she's greeted with teases talking about how her 20-year getaway has come to an end. Sanji sees and analyzes the numbers. A government official, the Navy, and Robin. So how should I play this one? The main thing is, he clearly knows that they're all fodder. He says that Robin should easily be able to get away from them if she wanted to, so he thinks to himself and comes to the conclusion that something is stopping her from running away. Just as Sanji is analyzing the situation, there's another addition to the numbers. 4 CP9 members have arrived, with Usopp and Franky both subdued. Sanji overhears some words and is conflicted on what Usopp is even planning. Meanwhile, Nami and Chopper's group is conflicted on what to do regarding the sea train's departure time, as they have half an hour to catch it, but they don't have Luffy, Zoro, or Sanji. And so Polly, who has realized that the Straw Hats are innocent, tells his gang to help Nami and Chopper out in finding their captain, janitor, and cook. Because of Aqua Laguna, the sea train actually departs earlier than it was supposed to, so only Sanji is near the train in time, while Luffy and Zoro are stuck in their own places after getting dropped off by CP9. Nami and Chopper continue yelling out for Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji, but it's to no use. The sea train that was supposed to depart at 11 blows its whistle and it catches the attention of Nami. Bro, I could have sworn you said the sea train wasn't gonna leave until 11. Why did I just hear a whistle? Nami runs towards the sea train to yell and persuade Robin to get off the train, but Robin does not listen. At the same time, Sanji slowly walks towards the sea train. A final scream for Robin and the sea train is already en route to Enies lobby. Nami gets mad and she says she's about to chase the damn train down, but gets shot down by the fact that the tides of the ocean are incredibly dangerous. She thinks all hope is lost, but then she gets a letter from someone not so obscure. In the letter, Sanji tells Nami that he located Robin and is going to be on the sea train escorting her to Enies lobby. He also placed a Denden Mushi inside the note for contact, and everybody is so awed by Sanji's skill. And now we enter Sanji in his bag.
さて、どうやってこっそり中へ潜入しようか。いやー、外はすごい嵐。
Sanji and kicking this poor dude has officially put everyone on the cart on guard, and they ask him who the hell he is. Sanji isn't taking any of these bums seriously, and the first on the victim list is the man towering over Sanji, Jerry. Jerry lets off a barrage of attacks, but none of them hit Sanji, who is already behind him. In reaction to this, Jerry gets into a yoga pose and lets off a drop kick. Sanji jumps over it and lets off one kick. Done. My boy is crushed. Nami relays Sanji's message to Chopper, and now their mission is to find Luffy and Zoro. As Kokoro is monologuing about the tides, her granddaughter finds something and tells Nami. Something is stuck in between two buildings. What was it? It was none other than Nami's idiot captain, Luffy. Chopper also got a hint and sees a bum hanging out of a chimney, and clearly it was none other than Zoro. Nami runs to Luffy and tells him everything, that Robin was lying and that in reality, everything she's doing is for their safety. At the same time, Chopper is just crying because Zoro isn't budging out of the chimney, so Zoro asks Chopper to give him Kitetsu so he can cut his way out. In an awesome double spread, Luffy breaks out of the two buildings and Zoro cuts up the chimney, saving themselves and getting away from Aqua Laguna. Or so we thought, because the wave actually had more coming for them. They get saved by Polly and the gang regroup. Nami tells them about everything and Luffy decides they're gonna go pull up to Enies lobby. Polly's group and Luffy's group are about to get into a fight over a ship because Polly thinks it's useless due to the tides of the ocean, but Luffy just doesn't care and wants to steal his ship to get to Enies lobby. The fight gets broken up however because Kokoro has a sea train in store. Finally, we're back on the sea train and CP9 is chilling at the front. The rest of the train though? The last car, decimated. The next cart, decimated. Sanji soloed both of those carts. Usopp asks Sanji why he's on the train, and Sanji asks the same thing. But what he's really interested in is the Denden Muji on that cart. Franky introduces himself, and Sanji gets pissed finding the dude who beat Usopp up. Franky asks to be untied and Sanji refuses. Usopp yells at them for wasting time and all the commotion has caught the attention of the next train cart. Just then, a certain marine has stood up, ready for anything coming his way. Luffy has now been introduced to the new sea train, the Rocket Man. Nami gets foods and drinks and puts it on the train, and now they have more passengers as Franky's family has pulled up desperate to save their bro. On the other sea train, we get to see T-Bone and what he's about for the most part. I mean, he literally ripped off part of his coat to stop one of his subordinates bleeding. The title card that dropped said that his motto is 100 good deeds per day. This man is the most wholesome in the entire series. But then the bad news gets told to him. Carts 7 and 6 were both soloed and the criminals Usopp and Franky are missing. Well, we find out where they are, on top of the damn train while Sanji calls Nami. At this time, the Rocket Man is literally about to crash into Aqua Laguna, but Luffy and Zoro let off a combo attack, creating a hole, getting them through. Nami gives the snail to Luffy and Sanji tells him that he knows the situation. Then Luffy's like, alright bro, go ahead and tear shit up. Zoro gets worried because he knows CP9 is on that train, but Sanji's like, I appreciate the worry, but even if Luffy told me to, I ain't holding back. From here on, I won't be talking about Luffy's point of view because that's a waste of time. Sanji and Franky split up from Usopp and go on to find Robin. T-Bone is trying to save all his allies while looking for the Chad who soloed them. But then a random marine just checks the top of the train and there he is, a Chad cook. Sanji kicks him away but someone else pulls up, Soga King. With the addition of number 2 in the entire series behind Sanji, the Chad cook himself initiates Operation Recapture Robin. Their plan is to literally just save Robin, but what makes it hard is the numbers that they're facing as well as the strength that they possess. CP9 gets informed of the intruder, but they react nonchalantly, telling them just to find them. On Cart 7, the 3 of them show the troops that they're there, but then seal the door. The troops try to open the door, but T-Bone just ends up cutting it out. But this was all according to their plan, because the 3 of them have gone to Cart 5, disconnecting Carts 6 and 7. They enter Cart 5 and terrorize the numbers. Sanji kicks, Franky punches, Soga King snipes. Next, Cart 4, and it's a kitchen with a cook who makes ramen from his nose hairs. They try to move on to Cart 3, but the cook refuses anyone passing unless he gets defeated. On Cart 2, Lucci and the rest get informed about the current situation, but again, it's just a nonchalant reaction, as Lucci reassures that they will not be able to recapture Robin. The chef that tried to stop Franky, Sanji, and Soga King goes on to fight Sanji and uses something called fire skate blades. Look at Sanji's reaction here. I think this was blatant foreshadowing for his evolution / transformation Diabo Jambe. But as the chef uses the attack, Sanji dodges and the chef makes distance. Then he just drops to the ground. Apparently, Sanji kicked this man 12 times before he could even realize he got attacked. He uses a noodle transformation, and at the same time as this, Franky is deleting Nero, a new CP9 member, and Usopp has found Robin. Sanji is actually being put on the back foot against his bum chef for a little because of how bizarre the fighting style is. That is, until he uses knives. He cuts up his super noodle form into a dish and decides, yeah, I'ma just violate this man with these. And so he does, cutting up every last piece of ramen until the last bit, and that's where he puts the knives back, as to not use knives as swords. But now that his armor is gone, he can just kick up a storm. The final kick sends him flying through Cart 3 all the way to Cart 2 where CP9 awaits. Franky enters the scene as well, and Sanji converses with Lucci about Robin. But it all comes to a halt as Lucci expresses that he's glad that she's gonna die. Sanji goes in for the first strike and is blocked, but then Robin herself enters the scene and throws Soga King, expressing that they just don't listen. Luckily, Soga King is quick on his feet. He tells Franky to loosen Cart 3, throws a smoke bomb, and grabs Robin. The CP9 members are quick as well, however. Khalifa subdues the loose train with her whip and Blue Note pulls it together again. He's in the way, so Sanji goes for a kick, but it does nothing to Iron Body. Sanji says, oh yeah, he got weird techniques? I do too. He spins and almost kicks through his Iron Body. But at the same time, Robin clutches Usopp and distracts Sanji, who sadly gets kicked by Kaku as a result. Franky, however, comes in clutch and divides the trains. They think they're about to get away and then Blue Note comes out of a door made of thin air and kicks Sanji. Blue Note takes Robin too, but Robin gets unhanded as she reassures that she won't run away to protect Sanji and Soga King. Blue Note closes the air door and Robin is now on her way to the Nihilist Island and its lobby. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I tried out this narration style with One Piece and I'll see how it does. I've been slow with uploads since I have exams, but once they're done, I'ma be dropping bangers. Anyways, if you enjoyed this, consider leaving a like and subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.